Imagine walking out of your favorite grocery store with a smile on your face, groceries in hand, only to find police officers surrounding your car, guns drawn, shouting at you like you're some criminal. But it's your car. And your only crime, being a black woman in a nice neighborhood. What happened next would leave an entire courtroom gasping, and one woman's quiet strength would inspire a city. Tanya Miles had just finished her shift as a neonatal nurse. Her feet ached, her scrubs smelled faintly of formula and baby powder, but her heart felt light. She'd saved a premature baby that morning. That was the kind of day she lived for. The sun was just beginning to set over the tree-lined streets of Westwood Hills, a quiet, mostly white suburb outside St. Louis. Tanya didn't usually stop here, but she needed oat milk for her son Caleb's allergies. So, she parked her white 2018 Lexus RX in the grocery store lot and headed inside. But the moment she returned, grocery bags rustling in her arms, something felt wrong. Patrol car pulled up fast behind her. Then another. Then two officers jumped out, hands on their weapons. "Ma'am, step away from the vehicle." She froze, blinking in disbelief. This is my car. Hands on your head." Bystanders gathered. Phones came out. Whispers started. A white woman pointed from the curb yelling, "That's the car I saw her trying to break into." Tanya didn't know it yet, but her whole life was about to change. Tanya was slammed against the hood of her own car. Cold metal cuffs bit into her wrists. She pleaded with them. "Please, this is a misunderstanding. I have the keys. Look." But they wouldn't even let her speak. Her groceries spilled onto the pavement, eggs cracked, strawberries rolling into the gutter. Crowd watched, some murmuring, others laughing. A teenage girl filmed it all on her phone. Inside the cruiser, Tanya's hands trembled. Tears welled in her eyes. Not just from humiliation but from something deeper. Exhaustion. How many times had she told her son to stay calm, stay safe, stay quiet when stopped by police? She wasn't even allowed to call anyone. Not her lawyer, not her son's babysitter, not her sister. Hours passed in holding. Cold concrete walls. The stink of urine and bleach. Finally, a detective named Jacob Underhill came to question her. A younger white officer, polite but distant. "We ran the plates. The car belongs to Tanya Miles." "But that can't be right," he said. "That's you." "I've been saying that for hours," Tanya whispered. He looked embarrassed. "It was reported stolen yesterday. By your ex-husband." Tanya's eyes widened. Her voice cracked. "You mean Darren? He hasn't been in my life for 4 years." The detective raised an eyebrow. "But the title is still in both your names." The world tilted. Her ex had reported the car stolen, and no one had even tried to verify her story before arresting her. 2 days later, Tanya appeared before Judge Richard Calloway, a stern, no-nonsense man with a reputation for being fair but firm. She stood there in her wrinkled scrubs, hair still slightly matted from the police cell, wrists sore from the cuffs. The prosecutor laid out the facts. Tanya was seen tampering with a luxury SUV. It was reported stolen. She was found with keys in her hand. But then something unexpected happened. Judge Calloway interrupted. "Miss Miles, may I ask you a question directly?" "Yes, Your Honor," she said softly. "What do you do for a living?" "I'm a neonatal nurse, sir. At St. Mary's." The judge turned to the prosecutor. "Do you have any record of prior arrests?" "No, Your Honor." "Any indication she knew the vehicle was reported stolen?" "None." "Then tell me this," the judge said, voice rising. "Why are we here?" The courtroom fell into stunned silence. After the hearing, as Tanya walked out, cleared but shaken, a quiet voice stopped her. It was the teenage girl who had filmed the arrest. Her name was Amira, a high school senior. "I saw what happened, and I recorded the whole thing. I thought maybe you'd need it. I already posted it online." Tanya's breath caught. "Why would you do that?" "Because my mom said we don't stay silent when we see wrong." The video had already gone viral. Millions of views. The caption, Black nurse arrested for stealing her own car in Westwood Hills. That video would become the spark that ignited something much bigger. The video brought outrage, but also action. Protests gathered outside the Westwood Police Department. Women from all races and backgrounds shared their own stories of profiling. Nurses from Tanya's hospital walked out in solidarity, holding signs that read, "We save lives, stop stealing ours." Then came a phone call Tanya never expected. It was Judge Calloway. "I did some digging," he said. "I used to be a defense attorney. I don't usually step in, but this doesn't sit right with me. You need better legal representation. And I know someone who can help." Enter Grace Whitmore, a Black civil rights attorney who had taken down entire police departments in court. She took Tanya's case pro bono. Grace filed suit for wrongful arrest, civil rights violations, and emotional distress. But more than that, she helped Tanya tell her story. "I'm not just doing this for me," Tanya said, tears in her eyes during the press conference. "I'm doing this for my son, so that maybe one day he won't be afraid to exist." 3 weeks later, at a local community meeting, Tanya was honored with a Courage Award. Amira, the teen who filmed the arrest, presented it. "She didn't ask to be brave. She just was," Amira said. The audience stood and applauded. But something else happened that evening. A white police officer, visibly nervous, approached Tanya afterward. "I was one of the officers that day," he said. "I didn't speak up. I should have. I'm sorry." Tanya's eyes searched his. She nodded slowly. "Then do better. Speak up next time. That's how we change this." The lawsuit was settled quietly. Tanya received a large compensation, enough to start a scholarship fund for Black nursing students and single mothers. She kept working as a nurse. But now she also spoke at universities, police departments, and city halls. Not in anger, but in truth and hope. "I don't want revenge," she told a packed crowd once. "I want progress. I want humanity." And in the crowd, Amira smiled. Now a freshman in college, studying to become a journalist. Sometimes the world tries to define people by how they look, what they drive, or where they live. But this story reminds us that kindness, truth, and courage don't wear uniforms. They wear hearts. Tanya didn't let hate break her. She let it fuel her purpose. And all it took was one act of bravery, one video, and one person saying, "I see you." If Tanya's story moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone who believes in justice, and comment below with your own story of kindness. And if you want more stories that inspire hope in a divided world, subscribe and watch the next story on your screen right now. Because sometimes, the smallest voices speak the loudest truths.